Well, hello to all of our LOTW listeners. You're here with Luminal on the Wall. I'm Bevy.
And I'm Becky.
Hey, sister.
Yeah, hey, sister.
So last week, I told everyone that you would kind of let us know how your trip to BC went with Mom.
Yeah, I mean, BC is always nice. I have to say, for anyone who doesn't live in Canada, the trip, like the road from Calgary to Kelowna, is such an amazing drive through the mountains.
It really is.
Yeah.
Craig and I got to do that when we went to Vancouver, and it was like, oh man. You go through the Coquihalla, which is a crazy road.
Yeah.
Speed limit's 120 kilometers an hour.
What?
And it's like up on the mountain, right? Did you get to drive the Coquihalla, Becky?
I don't recall being on the Coquihalla.
Oh, well, then you missed out. Never mind. I guess that's a little further
Yeah.
than Kelowna.
I was like, I don't recall. 120? No. Were we going
Yeah.
120? Yeah, we were, but not designated.
You were going 120, and yet you still almost got in a road rage incident with somebody.
Yeah. That was so scary. I've never actually had that happen before. Have you?
I mean, I've had some people flip me off before, for sure.
Yeah, that's
but not like that.
Yeah, that's normal road rage, right? If someone really makes
Why don't
you
you
mad.
tell people, Becky?
Okay, yeah. Okay, so we are just getting into Kelowna, like right before, what is it, Winfield? And like I said, we weren't doing 120 then, but we were definitely speeding. Mom, lead foot. Anyways, we're passing all the cars in the slow lane, and this guy starts like flashing his high beams at us, like strobe light. And so Mom's like, is that guy flashing his lights at me? I'm like, yeah, or his car's glitching. Like, I don't really know. However, it was very clear that he was intentionally doing it after that. He was like riding our ass. And then he obviously wanted us to move over into the slow lane, but we're passing everyone. Like, we're not going to move over. Like, we'll move over when there's no cars. Like, that's normal. Anyways.
Yeah, like you're using it for its intended purpose.
Yes. So anyways, this guy is so pissed off. He goes into the slow lane, goes around us, and there is not even a full car length between us and the car that is ahead of us, but in the other lane. So he like takes that very minimal opportunity to squeeze through. Mom had to like slam on her brakes. We were anticipating, at least we watched it happen, so it wasn't like that crazy. But Mom slams on the horn like, dude, you're fucking ridiculous. And whatever. So he flips the bird, like, and he drives away, giving us the middle finger. And so, like, whatever. We pull up behind him at, like, the next nearest stoplight, which is, like, 30 seconds away, Bev. And we're laughing because we're like, what a fucking dummy. Like, he almost caused an accident for, 30 seconds to be faster? Like, you're a dumbass. Anyways, we're laughing as we approach this car because, again, we're like, what fucking idiot. And Mom, like, raises her hands like, you're an idiot. He flips us off again.
Classic Mom.
Yeah, classic Mom. So he flips us off again. And I don't know. I don't normally flip people off while driving, but something came upon me and I, gave him 2 fingers because I was like, what a dickhead. Like, I'm like, you're in the wrong. Don't give us the bird. Anyways, Mom did it too. And so this mother effer gets out of his car at a red light. And he starts charging towards us. He looks up. I assume he realizes, like, Mom is, like, an older woman.
Yeah,
she has,
she's got white hair.
Yeah, like 2 women in a car. Like, it's going to look really shitty on you if you, like, go and, like,
charge them or try and attack them or scream at them. Like, anyway.
This guy was, like, maybe,
whatever you do.
Yeah, and this guy's, like, maybe in his, like, late 20s, 30s. So he, like, sees us, stops mid-stride, turns around, goes back in his car, gives us the finger, and, like, squeals off, and his car's all, like, shifting side to side, like, almost out of control.
Oh, my gosh.
My heart was, like, racing so hard because, me, conflict, what? Anyways.
Well, I mean, once someone gets out of their car, like, they mean business,
Yeah.
I can't believe it, Becky. You never told me in your original, like, telling of the story that you gave 2 middle fingers to this person.
I'm pretty sure I held up the gesture at the time because I did it to Craig.
Well, I mean, I think I just assumed that it was just a gesture, not like what you actually did in the moment.
Well, like, he did it to us first, like, I normally am pretty reserved with that stuff, but, like, he was just so dangerous. It really just pissed me off that he was angry at us for, like, when he almost literally, like, probably almost killed himself driving. Like,
Yeah.
who takes that
And
risk?
could have hurt you guys too.
Yeah, himself and us. So it's like, you're an idiot. Like, why are you mad at us? We were speeding.
Yeah.
Like, F-O, mother trucker.
Yeah. You don't own this road.
That's right. We do. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Just kidding. Anyways, so, yeah, Kelowna was a little colder than here. So we were looking at houses, kind of just a low-key couple days.
And you're back.
And I'm back. I'm back, bitches.
That's right.
Yeah, back to the podcast. So I know you're super sad having to do it alone, but here I am.
So sad.
Wow. You know, considering how much this girl, like, professes her love to me, she's awfully sarcastic in this moment.
Well, you know, I mean, I didn't mind it. It was kind of nice. I was like, oh, I gotta read a little story about a crazy serial killer there. So,
Yeah, Joanna.
I gotta say, doing it alone wasn't that bad solely because, like, that was an insane case. So, I have high expectations for today, Becky.
Well,
Do you want to give our listeners like a 411 of what the case is about, or should we just get into it? What do you think?
I think we should just get into it. I have a terrible habit of just telling the details, so would hate for it to be the spoiler.
All right, well, let's do it then.
All right, today's case is about a woman named Kelsey Berreth, and she was born on September 15th, 1989 to parents Cheryl and Daryl. She also...
Cheryl and Daryl.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Matchy,
Cheryl and
matchy.
Dare. Matchy. Same Z's.
That's like couple goals right there.
Yeah.
Anyways, Kelsey also had a brother named Clint, and she grew up on a farm in Moses Lake, Washington. From a pretty young age, she knew that she wanted to be a pilot, and she even earned her pilot's license as a teenager. So this girl's ambitious from a young age, you know? Like, you know, I consider looking back on my life and what I was doing as a teenager. Like, nothing.
Don't sell yourself short. Don't sell yourself short. You got a job early on. You were independent. You went after things you wanted. And you're still like that to this day. So don't you sell yourself short. But
A pilot's license, Bev?
Getting a pilot's license is pretty cool as a teenager.
Yeah, like that's so cool. Anyways, on top of being really cool and getting her pilot's license, she was just an amazing person. She was initially a shy individual. She was also loving and kind, but once you got to know her, she really came out of her shell. And as she grew into adulthood, she became fairly successful in her career and was looking for love. She wanted someone who shared her same values and wanted to live that same ranch life she had growing up. By 2016, Kelsey had been traversing the online dating world when she met a man named Patrick Frazee, which is part of the reason why I chose this case was this guy's name, that it really stood out to me.
Because it's like Patrick Swayze?
Yes. And,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't
Patrick
know anyone that didn't love
Swayze.
him.
Rest in peace. But, like, he is the main character in my favorite all-time movie, Dirty Dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
However, though, Bev, he's a bad guy.
This guy's a piece of shit?
Yeah, so don't get, too, ooh, Patrick Frazee. He's not a good dude.
No, I said Patrick Swayze. Swayze. I was saying I was obsessed with Patrick Swayze.
I know that.
I totally figured that as soon as you said Patrick Frazee. I knew he was a nasty old guy. I knew he was, Becky.
You just knew it.
I figured.
He's like the total opposite
Kelsey's
of
amazing.
Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why his name starts with F instead of S.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. All right, so Patrick.
Like all the bad words start with F. Fuck. Oh, I guess shit starts with S. Anyways.
No, I'm curious to know what other bad words you think starts with F. Go ahead, list them.
Like freezing. Who likes being freezing?
I mean, you're right.
Freak.
Unless you're Timmy Trumpet. Tell me where the freak's at.
Yeah, I mean, you could be a good freak. That is fair. I don't know. I just feel like F is like so much more harsh, you know? It's like one of those harsh letters, like, you know, K.
T.
K is a harsh letter T.
Yeah.
S is like smooth, suave, sexy, you know? Like, I just, you know. Anyways, I mean, it was really like the stupidest shit ever that I even said that. I'm looking at the starting letter of their name, and I was like, of course, Patrick Frazee was the bad one. But anyways,
here we are.
I'm interested to hear because it's already starting out like it's going to be like a domestic type of thing where he dates the girl and then kills her. And I'm just, ugh.
Oh, Bevy.
I could be wrong, but you know, when you're like, that's where I'm thinking it's heading, Becky.
Well, I will not confirm or deny. I shall just read our script. So, Patrick Frazee, Bev. He was from...
Oh, you know what else?
No, I don't know.
Side note.
What?
Here we go. Sorry, guys. You probably are so annoyed at this, but Frazee... No. Never mind. I got no sleep last night, okay? That's why I'm feeling stupid and just like unintelligent right now.
All right.
Damn it.
I wish you had told me before.
Okay, well, I was going to say like Frazee rhymes with crazy. And then I was like, wait a second. So does Swayze. Moving on.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh, another thing.
All right. So before I go on, we're making a disclaimer.
Oh.
Anything Bev says today, if it sounds a little janky, crazy, whatever, don't hold it against her. She's a sleep-deprived mama, okay?
Yes, please.
But feel free to laugh at her all you want, so.
Today, I will accept that, actually.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Bev, Patrick, he was from Florissant, Colorado, and he lived on his family's ranch. He was described as an all-American cowboy who also trimmed hooves and fitted horseshoes for the horses. Which, wow, I'm going on a side note now. Have you ever watched those videos where they actually trim the horseshoes and remove the shoes, trim the hooves?
Oh my God, yeah.
So satisfying to watch.
So nice. Did you know, have you ever watched the cow hooves? The person who fixes ailments in the cow hooves?
Mm-hmm.
Have you watched videos like that where there's pus underneath and the cow can barely walk and they scrape it off, get all the pus out and then wrap it and stuff?
Yes.
Oh man, that is the most calming video for me.
Yeah.
If I watch it late at night, that's one thing on TikTok. If I watch it, I will fall asleep.
Oh, that's what puts you to sleep. So, guess you're going to have to watch that tonight before bed, hey?
Yeah, I haven't done it in a while. Maybe I will.
There you go. Get a good sleep. All right. So after Patrick and Kelsey met, they started dating long distance. And their relationship eventually became serious fairly quickly. And Kelsey made the decision to move to Colorado to be closer to Patrick. And when she moved there, they got engaged. When Kelsey moved to Colorado, she also got her own townhome about 20 minutes away from Patrick's place in Woodland Park. Kelsey worked in a town called Pueblo, which was 60 miles away from her home. And this was her dream job. She was now a pilot instructor at DOS Aviation. And at DOS, they train pilots who go into the Air Force, and it's highly esteemed. So you can imagine, that would be a pretty darn cool job.
Yeah, especially because it was her dream from, when she was so young. So, yeah. Good for her.
Can you imagine, everything just came together for them? She met this guy online, moved to Colorado, got her dream job. Now she's engaged. Seems like.
I mean, to anyone, that would be just the perfect outcome of your life, right? It's you're right on track with everything. So it's where does it all go wrong?
Well, it doesn't go wrong yet. But in early 2017, Kelsey and Patrick found out they were pregnant with a baby girl. They were.
See, more joy.
Yeah, see, they were both so happy. And then in October of that year, their daughter Kaylee was born. Kelsey was an amazing mother. However, she ended up struggling with some anxiety and depression after her daughter was born. And in early 2018, Kelsey decided to go to a 2-week retreat in California so that she could kind of clear her mind, reset, and come back and just be a better mom. Unfortunately, when she got back, she didn't really have the support she wanted or needed from Patrick. And their relationship started to crumble. Their friends noticed that Patrick was becoming emotionally abusive towards Kelsey, and they were quite concerned. Kelsey didn't really want to give up on this new life, though, and so she decided to ride it out. That was until Thanksgiving of 2018 when everything changed. Now, on Thanksgiving morning, November 22nd, at 9:03 a.m. and 9:17 a.m., Kelsey spoke to her mother. Each call was about 6 minutes long. Kelsey had told her mom she still needed to run to the grocery store to get some last-minute things for dinner, and overall it was a really normal conversation. Surveillance video captured Kelsey pushing Haley in a shopping cart at the Woodland Park Safeway, and she was seen leaving the store at 12:27 p.m. She had bought ingredients for the holiday meal and then returned to her condo. She even texted Patrick, "I bought some sweet potato in case you wanted sweet potato casserole." Pretty thoughtful. Over the next few days, Kelsey had been in contact with her mom and her boss via text. On November 24th, Cheryl, Kelsey's mom, accidentally called Kelsey, and then she got a text saying, "I'll call you tomorrow." But Kelsey never called her mom back. Now, Cheryl wasn't really concerned with this. She knew her daughter was a busy mom and would get back to her when she had free time. On November 25th, Kelsey's boss got a text that said, "Hi, Ray. Sorry for the late notice, but I won't be able to make it in this week. I need to go see my grandma who is sick." Which, I don't know about you, Bev, any job that I have ever worked at, you typically don't just send like a little text being like, "I'm just going to be gone for the week." You have to accept it, you know?
Totally. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That being said, I do find that some jobs are a little bit more understanding when like a family member is sick or something to that effect. But still, you're right. The text is like totally weird.
Yeah.
Like at least a phone call, right? To be like, "Hey, this is what's going on. Can I have a week off?"
Yes.
Whatever, right? Not just being like, "Nope, not coming in."
Right? He
Yeah.
also had,
Like you usually need manager approval for that.
usually. And to boot, he never heard from her again. So days go by and no one has heard from Kelsey. Cheryl reaches out to her son Clint to see if he had spoken to her, but he too did not. And so the concern really started to grow. Cheryl then decided to reach out to Patrick, and he told her that they had actually broken up. And he said that Kelsey told him she needed space, and she left. He even told her that she left Kaylee with him so she could clear her head, and he explained that this had all happened on Thanksgiving Day.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. Now, don't you think you would have maybe called your mom?
Oh, 100% you would have. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Or at least your brother. I mean, I don't know.
Well, the thing is, she was already preparing to like make Thanksgiving dinner. So
how did we get from being like a loyal partner making dinner to breaking up and completely leaving the town?
yeah, no kidding. And then obviously we know that Patrick is telling the mom this, and the mom doesn't have the information that we even have, that she had texted Patrick about the casserole and that she had texted her boss saying her grandma was sick, which all is like conflicting information based on like what Patrick says to the mom. But obviously the mom doesn't know any of that right now. But
Exactly.
so it's all really like real sketchy on his part.
Exactly. Now, sensing something was off, like we are, Bev, and she has less information, so she's already getting that vibe that something's off. She asked Patrick if he could go check on Kelsey and her place to see if she was okay or if she was there. Now, Patrick was kind of weird about it, and he said something like that he had to do something with the cows, and then maybe he would go and check on her. So it was like he had no urgency, and to boot, he never actually went to check on Kelsey.
Yeah, I mean, it is totally odd for a partner to behave in that way, because even if you broke up with someone, like this is the mother of your child, if her mother is concerned about her well-being, like you should too. Like the care that you have for this woman who's a very important part of your life should not just disappear because you quote unquote broke up, right? So it is weird that he would avoid checking on her altogether.
100%. Now, they kind of let that be for a little while, but when they still didn't hear from Kelsey, they were even more alarmed. And on December 2nd, 2018, just 10 days after Thanksgiving, Kelsey's mom, Cheryl, formally requested a welfare check from the Woodland Park Police Department. So when officers went to Kelsey's home, she wasn't there. So police got in touch with Patrick. They called him around 1:50 p.m. that day, and he told them the same thing he had told Cheryl. Now, what he told them in addition to what he mentioned to Cheryl was that he had actually seen Kelsey that morning as they were exchanging the baby. He said he also was returning a couple of items to Kelsey as well, including her purse, her car keys, keys to her home, and her handgun. Weird, right?
Yeah.
He also told the officers that Kelsey may have done something to harm herself, or at the very least had no intention of returning home. He added that a little while ago Kelsey was suicidal and that he had taken her gun from her so that she wouldn't harm herself.
But then decided to give it back
Right?
as they're breaking up. Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. And if it's not just weird, it's kind of stupid, yeah?
Yeah.
If you knew she was suicidal weeks prior, obviously a triggering event like a breakup, if what he was saying was true, could be a potential risk for her. But you're going to give her the handgun back. Sure.
Yeah. A little confusing, right?
Yeah, and it's also really sketchy when people start to like almost provide explanations for someone's like disappearance to the police. Because I think we've seen that a lot in a lot of the cases that we've done is like you kind of have somebody that tries to direct the police in a specific way or line of thinking.
Yeah.
You know, to kind of, at least what I would think, and the reason why people do that is like to take the eyes off of them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to see that in this case with already like the sketchy stuff that went on, and, you know, given the fact that it's Patrick Frazee with an F, you know, it's all getting...
It's all sus.
You know, eyes... Yeah, it's all sus.
It's all
eyes, we're looking at you, Patrick.
Yeah.
We're looking at you.
That's right. Now, what officers found weird was that Kelsey's car was still at home, but her keys were missing, which is really messed up because if she wasn't in the home, she wasn't there, and if she did, you know, go off to even harm herself, don't you think she would have driven her own car?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, she also could have walked somewhere, but at this point, she's been gone for an extended period of time. So if she's on foot, that is also concerning, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely a weird piece of information that they found with that because, yeah, people would take their vehicle.
Yeah, absolutely.
So where are her car keys? Where are her car keys? And where is she?
Her keys were missing, so... Now, when the officers finally got into the home, they noticed that she had actually left behind daily essentials. Now, if what Patrick is saying is true and she maybe have harmed herself, that stuff would not matter. She would not bring that.
True.
So we can say that. However, if she just needs space, because the likelihood of her doing that and like leaving her daughter behind who she's so like hugely loved, it just doesn't seem as practical as maybe the self-harm, you know?
Yeah.
And like all these like alarm bells are going off as we're talking about it, and the police are sitting there being like, this is just unusual. This is not right. Something is fishy. But when they looked through the rest of the house, there wasn't any signs of foul play or that she had intended to leave. Kelsey's family insisted this was completely outside of her character. And the police took that like at face value and was like, yeah, let's start a missing person investigation. So the following day on December 3rd, the police managed to pull her cell phone data. It showed the last time her phone pinged was on November 25th, around 5 p.m. in a town called Gooding. But Gooding was 800 miles away in Idaho. So, as you can imagine, this is fairly confusing. It was confusing because Kelsey didn't know anyone there. So, Woodland Park officers reached out to the Gooding Police Department for their help, but they found absolutely nothing. What was really concerning was that amongst all this, officers and Kelsey's family only had Patrick's word that Kaylee was safe as well, their daughter, right? No one had actually been able to see her. So on...
Oh my God.
Right? So on December 4th, the following day, the Colorado Bureau of Investigation and the FBI got involved. Because now they're like, where is Kelsey? Where is Kaylee? And that day, agents made some real good headway. Number one, they had gotten a physical sighting of the little baby, Kaylee, which obviously was sweet relief to some degree for her whole family.
No doubt.
That same day, FBI agents kind of surprised Patrick at a restaurant in Colorado Springs while he was having lunch with his brother. And they just outright asked him if they could see his phone. And initially, Patrick was a little hesitant, but with a little pressure from his brother, he very reluctantly handed over his phone. Now, one thing I want to point out is that his brother, Bev, police officer.
Yeah. No.
Yes. So,
oh my gosh, because I was thinking, like, if you and I were at a restaurant and FBI agents came up to you and were like, "Can we see your phone?" I'd be like, "Becky, like, give them your phone. Like, you would have no reason not to give them your phone. Like, give it to them." Like, I would totally encourage you, right? And you would, unless you were to be like, "No, there's something on here that I'm hiding," you would feel the need to do that, right?
Exactly.
But, like, to top it off, he's a police officer? Like, what? Yeah, he's probably like,
dude,
give them your effing phone, man. Like, you don't want to look guilty. Like, make sure.
Yeah, he's like,
clearly
what are you doing?
There's nothing you're hiding.
Yeah, if she went off on her own, like, give me your phone, you dumbass.
Yeah, no doubt.
The funny thing is that they just like kind of took their chances to be like, hey, give us your phone. But they were already in the works of getting a warrant. So even if he had been like, I'm not giving you my phone, they would have just gone and taken it like hours later, pretty much. So it was just easier that way. Now, that same day, the FBI also performed another search on Kelsey's house with a cadaver dog, who alerted on the back bumper of Kelsey's car.
Oh, snap.
Right? So that's obviously not a good sign. Cadaver dog. That same day, Kelsey's mom and brother had flown into Colorado, and they went to her house after the search was complete. Now, initially, nothing obvious looked out of place, but her mother started noticing a couple little things were just off. Stuff that only close friends or family might notice. For example, the trash can was just in a different place than normal. There was a missing bat math. So, I don't know about you, Bev, but like...
Becky.
What?
Becky.
What?
You're slightly like had a bout of dyslexia there.
Oh no, what did I say?
You said a bat math. But it's a bath mat.
A bath mat? I said that?
Yeah, you said a bat math. I was like, wait a second, what? But
Okay.
like, let's be real. I have a question for you, Becky. Is your
Yes.
trash can ever in a different place? Like, or
No.
do you mostly keep it in the exact same spot?
Yeah.
I've moved mine once, and that was only because it was like in a terrible spot initially. And, you know, sometimes you rearrange, but like mostly, like when you find a place that works for your trash, you keep it there.
Yeah.
Right?
And
like, am I the only one? No.
no. I was going to say, like, if you went missing and I went to your house and your garbage was missing, or not missing, just even moved, I'd be like, something is not right here. Why is the garbage can there?
Yeah.
Because, like, maybe some people do move their shit regularly. I don't know. But I don't actually know anyone who does, so it is weird.
Yeah.
And also, who moves a bath mat? Or just, like, takes
Not just
it away.
moved it. It's, like, missing.
Yeah.
It's gone.
It's gone.
She gone. It's not, like, in the laundry. It's not in, like, the linen closet. No. It's gone.
It's gone. Yeah, it's not a normal thing.
It's like those moments when it's like, oh, the rug from the room's missing. And you're like, huh, I wonder why.
Yeah.
Was a body rolled up in it? You know, I mean, in this case, the bath mat is way too small. So, like, was there, like, blood evidence on that bath mat? And it had to get thrown out in case a search happened? Like, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways.
I
could be reading into it, but, you know, when you're like, I feel like I'm right.
I feel like I'm right. Well, what was suspicious is that 2 days later, Clint, Kelsey's brother, was using her washroom when he noticed blood splatter on the underside of the toilet bowl.
Oh, shit. That was right. Look at this. Holy crap.
Now, to be honest, this man must have been looking high and low for something, like just re-examining. Because I don't see the underside of a toilet bowl when I'm going to the bathroom.
I feel like a lot of men do. Like, you mean like the underside, like
the
when
toilet bowl, like
toilet
under.
seat to go pee?
No, like under.
Oh.
Yeah, like, I don't understand how he saw it, but he found it. Obviously, that's
Okay.
super scary, right? And concerning.
Totally.
So when he saw this, he
Ugh.
called the FBI back and they returned. They sprayed the bathroom with luminol and it lit up. It was very
Yeah.
clear that at one point, this had been a bloody mess. There was at one point blood on the toilet, the shower, the counters, the walls, and the ceiling. And because they were able to get an actual sample, not diluted one, from whatever cleaning solution was used, they were able to determine that it was Kelsey's.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, like obviously the bathroom had been cleaned
Mm-hmm. And your
and
assumption
bath
about the
mat
bath mat?
had to yeah, it was like accurate, probably filled with blood. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously they're looking at this as the like a murder site probably or a homicide site cuz like that much blood on the ceiling and everything like something gruesome must have taken place
Mm-hmm.
in this bathroom.
Oh,
And
yeah.
to know it was Kelsey's blood, like, I mean, it's looking grim, right?
It is looking very grim. Now, what's interesting is so they searched like the entire house as well, because initially it looked like there was no anything like foul play, right? It looked pretty clean, normal. But now, obviously, someone's gone in and cleaned up. So they searched the rest of the house. And they ended up finding 2 additional DNA samples at the home that did not belong to Kelsey. There was 1 male and 1 female. When they looked a little closer at some of the furniture, they noticed that there were clear white marks, specifically on the couches and the TV. So,
So you said white marks, right?
yeah, like, cloth white mark. You're cleaning up a
Right.
crime scene.
Just, yeah, more evidence of a cleanup taking place.
Exactly. So, obviously, with the amount of cleanup that had to be done, a lot of blood was literally shed, and there was no way Kelsey was alive at this point. So, this
Right.
investigation went from a missing person to a homicide investigation.
And I guess, like, the question about that DNA, about the male and the female that did not belong to Kelsey, like, well, first of all, whose was it? Because it's not a guarantee that those are the murderers or people that are responsible for this crime, right? Like, she could have had people over at her home or something. But obviously, if they find out whose DNA that is, they have to speak to those people, like, right away.
Oh, 100%, Bev. And also the fact that they found that DNA after a huge crime scene was cleaned up. What are the chances that it would have been
Ooh.
like a friend from before or, a family
You make
member
a very
from
valid
before?
point, actually.
Thank you.
Like the fact that the cleanup took place and that it was like a decent cleanup considering the FBI went there and like found nothing initially.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, for there to be DNA after the fact, it could potentially mean that whoever's DNA that is was there at the time of the crime or at least present during the cleanup.
It could mean that
That's
for
a very
sure.
valid point, Becky.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to kind of jump to what they found when they searched Patrick's phone. Okay? So,
Dun dun dun. I've been looking forward to this because
because
yeah,
So-
exactly.
So they found messages between Patrick and Kelsey from November 22nd, which is the last day that we know she was alive. And these texts range from the 22nd to November 25th. The last text Kelsey sent said, "Do you even love me?" And this was to Patrick. His response was, "Why would I bend over backwards and stand behind you through everything if I didn't?" So, to answer your question, yes, I do. But after that, there were no other communications available. Investigators also noticed that leading up to and after Kelsey's disappearance, Patrick had made several phone calls to a phone number with a Gooding area code, which they found odd, as that's where Kelsey's phone last pinged.
Yeah.
The number was
Yikes.
Yeah, the number was traced back to a woman named Crystal Lee Kenny.
Oh, snap.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we're all putting the pieces together about the male and female DNA. Now, a woman that isn't Kelsey just happens to be in the picture? Holy shit, Becky.
I know. So, investigators obviously decided to call Crystal. They did that on December 14th. And they asked if she knew Patrick. and when she had last heard from him. Her explanation was that they were business partners. They co-owned some horses together. She said that she had driven to Colorado on Thanksgiving and saw him then. She told them that they were business partners and that they co-owned some horses together. She said that she had driven to Colorado around Thanksgiving and saw him then. She claimed she drove there on November 24th through the night to look at some horses. But when she got there, Patrick didn't have the money to buy one, so she turned right around for another 10 to 12 hour drive back to Gooding.
Okay.
Right?
Like, you'd think if you're going to make that trek, you'd make damn sure someone had finances available.
Yeah, that's a long ass drive. And also, Bev, have you ever driven 10 to 12 hours and turned around and did it immediately after all over again? That's almost a whole day of driving.
I would cry. I'd be so dang miserable. Like,
Right?
even driving 10 hours to Vancouver, I was like, oh my God, this is like, taking forever. Let me get there. Okay. Oof. Oh, I just had like the worst visual based on all the information you're throwing at me here. And now, you know me and my theories. I like to theorize before we get to the point.
Mm-hmm.
Becky, did she like help him clean up a murder and take Kelsey's body back to Gooding? Like, did she really just drive that far to like not look at a horse, but to like help him like with a homicide? Like, oh my God.
I know. Well, you got to know I'm not going to divulge that at this time.
I do know, but I'm like,
That's how you're feeling.
geez.
That's your
So I'm
thought on
wondering
this.
if I am correct, which I'm usually wrong, but if I am correct on this one, they must be having some type of romantic relationship or something, because why the fuck else would somebody do that? You know?
Yeah, why else, right?
For a person like that seems ludicrous unless you're somehow financially, oh sorry, not financially, like physically involved with someone.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Agreed.
And they have like a hold on your heart and your soul and your brain.
I thought you were going to say nuts, but yeah.
Oh, that would have been better. I should have said that.
Missed opportunity. Beth.
Dang.
Well, the investigators in this conversation asked if Crystal knew who Kelsey was. And she told them that she had only heard of her through the news. Which is like kind of weird if you're business partners with someone. Like, don't you think you usually would know a little bit about your business partner? Like, oh, his fiancé? Just wondering. Yeah. I don't know.
No, you would definitely like know something of the sorts. I mean, not just his fiance, like he has a child with her. Mm-hmm. So like it's a little more than that actually. Yeah. Okay. So she's downplaying maybe what she knows about it. Mm-hmm. At least that's what it seems, right? Exactly. That's what we're alluding to.
Yeah.
All right. So
who was Crystal? Who is this lying lady or potentially lying lady?
Yeah, who is she?
So she was a divorced mother of 2, and it turns out she knew Patrick better than she was letting on.
Duh.
Investigators got in contact with her ex-husband, Chad, and he told them that Crystal and Patrick had met in 2006, and they dated on and off for years. In fact, Crystal had been having an affair in 2016 when Patrick and Kelsey met. So keep in time, Crystal was married to Chad at this time. She's having an affair with Patrick. And this affair continued through 2017. What's even worse is that Patrick had gotten Crystal pregnant. I shouldn't say he got her pregnant. They became pregnant because of their choices. But they terminated that pregnancy.
Well, let's be real. Like, how can you hide a baby?
Right?
You know, to your partners that you're still with.
Right.
Gosh. Mm-hmm. That would have been the ultimate betrayal for both of their partners. Like, it already is that they're having an affair, but a baby in that mix would just, like, that adds a whole nother layer of betrayal.
Yeah, because if they had gone through, it's like a whole other commitment to someone else that you should never have been sleeping with in the first place.
Exactly. So they terminated that, obviously, probably to keep it under wraps or whatever.
Yeah.
Didn't want a baby together. I don't know what they were thinking with that one. But holy shit, what a bombshell.
I know. Now, Crystal had even lied to Chad about where she was on November 24th and 25th.
Say it ain't so, Becky.
She had told him that she was in Idaho with friends. I assume somewhere else other than Gooding, because she lived in Gooding.
So, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Must.
However, when Crystal was kind of confronted with that information, she later confided, after talking to FBI, that she had actually been in Colorado. Hence the whole driving thing we talked about.
So she finally, after speaking with FBI, came clean to Chad.
Yeah.
Okay.
After they had called her, Chad said that she became really paranoid and started acting pretty weird. Now, on December 4th, sorry, the dates are going to get maybe a little messy, so I'm going to try and keep it clear. On December 4th, when they asked Patrick for his phone, Crystal had gone and asked Chad to take her to go and get a new phone because she so-called lost hers.
Oh my God.
So were they trying to both hide something? It sounds like it.
Oh, yeah. Too bad Patrick was with his police officer brother at the time. Like, I wonder if the FBI planned that, because if they had spoken to Patrick, if he was like alone having lunch, like he would have just been like, no. I wonder if they do play on like the potential pressure that another person would put on the person. They surely, right? I wonder if that's like a tactic.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to find out. But.
For sure. And also, like, how they say if like you have something really hard to talk about or you're scared to talk to someone about something, go talk to them in a public place.
Yeah, exactly.
Like kind of that same thought process. So
yeah.
So okay, so anyways, after the FBI goes and talks to Chad, they have a lot more questions for Crystal, right? So they go speak with her again. However, she lawyered up and they weren't allowed to ask her any questions, but they did have a warrant for her DNA, which they collected at that time.
Oh, shit. Amazing.
Yes. So now they're analyzing her DNA. After they spoke with Crystal, she lawyered up. 2 of Crystal's friends actually came forward to the FBI. One of the friends told FBI that they had lent Crystal the car that she drove to Colorado in. And so she let the investigators search it. Now, this woman said she kept a handgun in the car, I assume for just safety reasons. But after the trip to Colorado, it was missing a bullet.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That would just be like a normal, like, oh, this is the murder weapon. But now when I think of all the blood, Becky, like, please don't tell me they dismembered Kelsey. Like, please. That's the most, oh God. That's all I can think about when I hear that. I'm just like, oh, okay, well, I mean, that is damning as fuck. So thank God for this friend.
Right. Now, I said 2 of her friends came forward, right? And so the other one was Crystal's, one of her closest friends. Her name was Michelle, and she had received a call from Crystal, and she told her that on October 22nd, 2018, Patrick had asked her to kill his baby mama. Michelle explained
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm going to let you sit with that before I carry on. Your face. I think you need a moment.
I need a moment. Like, if she was like the only one to do this, no, his DNA was there too. But like, holy crap, this is not what I expected at all, Becky.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
so
continue.
Michelle explained to the officers that Crystal was so upset over this request, but apparently Patrick told Crystal that Kelsey had been abusing their daughter and someone needed to do something about it. Heaven forbid it be the police. But someone needed to take care of it.
Becky.
So Michelle encouraged Crystal to go to the police, but neither of the women actually went. When Michelle was questioned, like, why didn't you say anything? And she said that she just trusted that her friend would do the right thing.
Yeah, I would too. I'm like, it's not my business. Like, I would have full faith in my friends to go to the police with something so crazy like that. Like, someone just asked me to kill somebody. What?
I would go to the police too. And I would assume any of my friends would do the same.
Also, like, can we just talk about how much of a piece of shit Patrick is? Because, like, manipulating her in that way, making it seem like she would be doing a duty of, like, great honor because like his daughter is being abused by somebody. I don't know. And then using his personal relationship as like the chokehold
Mm-hmm.
for that. I don't know. It just seems like slimy as fuck to me.
Yeah, it totally does. And to be clear, there is zero evidence that Kelsey ever harmed her daughter.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, there is zero evidence. No one else ever thought that. There was never any injuries. Like zero, zero, zero evidence.
Yeah. Like I was like, I bet you there's no police report from him being like, hey, I'm bringing this information to you. I'm worried about the well being of my child. No, obviously not. It's definitely manipulation. Like 100%. That's what it is.
Yes.
That's why it's like so nasty.
Yep. All right. So a little while later, the DNA from the house, the two unknown people finally came back. You want to take two guesses as to who they were?
Well, Crystal and Patrick, obviously.
yes.
It's got to be.
It was their DNA.
Ugh.
And so with this new development, on December 20th, Crystal was ready to speak to the FBI with her lawyer by her side. She confirmed that Kelsey was dead. And
yeah, because you saw her body. We all know it.
Yeah, she knew that because she was the one who cleaned up the crime scene.
Damn.
And on top of it, she was with Patrick when he burned Kelsey's body.
Oh my God.
She explained that this was a thought-out process. In fact, they had been planning it since September.
They? Oh, based on what he told her. Yeah. Like he got her involved.
Mm-hmm. And they had made 3 separate plans to kill her before she was actually murdered. She explained that she was supposed to have killed Kelsey. The first plan was to spike Kelsey's favorite coffee, which was a caramel macchiato, and they're so good. But they were to spike it with Ambien and Valium. Then Crystal would bring it to her door, and Kelsey would drink the so-called coffee, spiked coffee, despite Crystal being a complete stranger. Like, Kelsey had never met her, obviously, in her life. So can you imagine, Bev, making that plan? Be like, yeah, I'm going to poison someone and they're going to die, but they're going to just drink this coffee from a complete stranger.
Yeah, that's just like dumb.
Yeah. Now, with this plan, Crystal followed through, but she kind of got a little cold feet, so she didn't actually spike the coffee. She went up to Kelsey's door and she, rang the doorbell. Kelsey answered it and told her that she was bringing her coffee. Kelsey obviously found this really weird because she's like, I don't know you. Why are you coming to my house bringing me a coffee? So Crystal explained to her that someone in the area told her that Kelsey had helped put her dogs back into her yard after they escaped. This was just a completely made up story. So I can imagine Kelsey standing there being like, that never happened. Something's weird about this. Probably not going to drink the coffee. However, she was like gracious and took the coffee inside. Who knows if she drank it? I assume she's a smart woman and didn't. Crystal said that she just wanted to look into the eyes of Kelsey to see if she was capable of hurting her baby. On top of this all, Patrick had also told Crystal that Kelsey was drunk and a drug addict.
He's a lowlife.
Yeah, so he's just like slandering this lady all around. So obviously their first attempt was a big effing failure, which thank God. But I doubt Kelsey even drank the coffee. So.
Not really, considering the outcome of the case. But like,
oh yeah, considering.
Like, wish something had happened from that moment to like in between, so she wouldn't have lost her life. But like,
sure,
damn, like it's not like anyone knows this is what's going on, right? Like, fuck.
Okay, so the other 2 attempts, Crystal had come pretty close to killing Kelsey. One time, Patrick had left a metal pipe outside his property and told Crystal to go and beat her with it. She had made it all the way from Idaho to Kelsey's, but couldn't go through with it. The 3rd attempt was quite similar. The only difference was Patrick had given her a baseball bat and left it for her to go kill Kelsey. But, I mean, at least Crystal has like a small flicker of morals that are coming through. She could not kill this woman. Doesn't make the fact that they planned it any better, but she just couldn't go through with it, right? So because of this, Patrick just got fed up and decided to do it himself. And this was on Thanksgiving Day.
Man, he's such a coward, disgusting human. Trying to get like this this woman to do it for him, do his dirty work for him. Ugh, it just like that like just it just shows his character, you know what I mean? Like he's just such a POS.
Yeah.
And then to top it off, what you just said, that he actually went through with it and killed Kelsey, the mother of his child. I can't, Becky.
Yeah, me either, Bevy. So Crystal explained that Patrick had convinced Kelsey, so he had gone over and he convinced her to be blindfolded, telling her he was going to get her to guess the scents of different candles. Now, to put it in perspective, like that might be weird if you are going from Patrick's perspective because they had quote unquote broken up, right?
Yeah.
But from what we know, like through Kelsey's mom, is that everything seemed quite normal. And so if your partner says, hey, let's play a game, you guess what candle scents these are, maybe that's a legitimate thing to do. I've never done it, but
yeah, I wouldn't be against it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be against it, you know? I might be like, you're weird, but sure.
Yeah, let's
like,
do it.
Kind of fun.
Yeah.
You know, it's like why we did that taste testing for your birthday last year. Because it's kind of fun.
Because it's fun. Something different to do, right? So while Kelsey was blindfolded, he then struck her over the head several times.
Oh, no.
What's like just adds to this heartbreak is that their baby was in one of the back rooms while this was all happening.
Oh, my God.
So when Patrick was done, he put Kelsey in a black plastic container and then put that container in the bed of his truck. He then, like nothing ever happened, proceeded to his family's Thanksgiving dinner. After dinner, he drove to a barn that he had been leasing and left Kelsey there for 2 days in this black tote.
So, sorry, I'm feeling like so emotional. I can't even handle it. Like, ugh. Like, it's already sad that she was, like, beaten to death, but, like, I just, like, hope that the baby didn't hear anything and that another life gets, like, traumatized or, like, she already lost her mom, you know? Like, and then I just hope that there was no way that she heard any of that or felt fear in those moments. I mean, yeah, I just hope that. Anyways, question. He beat her, obviously. That makes sense with all the blood.
Yep.
Not a dismemberment, but was there any explanation as to why the gun like was missing a bullet or no?
Bev, I have zero explanation for that. I know I was hoping through all my research that I would find something, but I did not. I did not. Like, I just did not.
Okay, so it's missing and like who knows?
Bullet.
Maybe, yeah, it's a missing bullet, but it had nothing to do with this crime. So he beat her to death, which makes sense in the sense that like that's what he was trying to get Crystal to do.
Yeah. And I feel like when these criminals beat people to death, it is a bloody mess everywhere. Like there's blood on the ceiling, like cast off shit, you know, there's so much. So that would explain all the blood and this like the cleaning marks that were all over the house.
Yeah, totally.
All right. So Crystal said after Patrick went and put Kelsey's body in this barn that he was leasing, he called Crystal and told her that there was a mess and she needed to clean it up. But she couldn't leave until the next day. And so the next day, Crystal made her way down to Colorado, that 10 to 12 hour drive all over again. She said while she was driving, Patrick called her and told her that she needed to keep her eyes open while cleaning this crime scene for a tooth. He had knocked out one of Kelsey's teeth and it was still at the crime scene. As she was cleaning, she said she found it. She told the FBI that she was absolutely horrified when she got there. She then explained to investigators what she saw, where the blood was, how she cleaned it, how long it took her, and where the tooth was found. She said it took her 4 hours to clean the entire thing. What she couldn't clean, she packed up and put in her car. Looking back,
the bath mat.
The bath mat. Some of those items consisted of like couch pillows, curtains, basically anything that she could not clean. So that's pretty crazy. Now, although Crystal said that she was horrified and shocked, she still didn't hesitate to stop at Sonic after cleaning up the crime scene. And this was caught.
To get some food.
Yep. And this was caught on surveillance footage.
Damn, you know, like you're horrified, but yet you have an appetite after that? Shit.
I could never.
Ugh.
I mean, I would also never be in that situation, but if I was, I probably couldn't keep a single fucking thing down because I'd be so
Right?
disgusted with myself and what I just saw and what I've got
Mm-hmm.
myself entangled in, you know?
Yeah.
All right, so after she got the Sonic, her and Patrick met up at a gas station where he filled a 5-gallon jug with gasoline, which also was caught on security footage. They then drove to Patrick's ranch, where they proceeded to burn Kelsey's body and all the other items from her home. While burning the remains, Patrick told Crystal what Kelsey's last words were. They were, "Please stop." And she said this didn't even faze him. So, I don't know about you, Bev, like when I think, like as my mind wanders about that situation, I picture friggin' Patrick kind of like scoffing at it. It's like, you know what she said as I was doing this? Please stop. Like that's literally how I picture how much of a tool he is, you know? Because if it didn't phase him, like, why fucking mention it?
Ugh.
Like he's
Like
the
he's almost proud
worst.
of himself, you know? Like she said, please stop.
Yeah,
As if. Oh, God. That's just terrible.
it's the worst, right? He's literally such a horrible person. I know
So
we say
sad
this.
to know that she was pleading for her life, Becky. Oh.
I know. Ugh. All right, so as we know, Kelsey was already dead on November 22nd. Crystal admitted to texting Kelsey's mother and her boss from Kelsey's phone. She then admitted that she drove her cell phone back to Idaho and burned it. So that's why it was
Well,
pinging
there
there.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also why, like, I figured those texts were not from Kelsey.
Yeah,
I mean, we already talked about how weird the one to her boss was.
exactly. Now, what's kind of interesting but awful is that Crystal told the investigators that she had intentionally left some blood at the crime scene so that they would find it.
Cue in the toilet bowl.
Yeah. She said,
Dang.
yeah, like she said that she was scared that Patrick would hurt her if she didn't help him. But so it's like she wanted to leave a little bit to be like, hey, something happened here, like help the investigation or something. I don't know, like maybe she truly thought that way, but it's so messed up because when you actually look at how many times they tried to kill her, she had so many opportunities to go to the police. And typically, these witnesses are protected by the individual, you know? And you have firsthand account, you have messages, you have phone calls. Like, you have evidence to support what he's asking you to do. You know, it's not just like a he said, she said completely, right? So they could have arrested him right away and Kelsey could still be living.
I guess it's just like a complicated situation. Like, it's pretty black and white to me.
Mm-hmm.
But if I were to, like, you know, try to empathize with her situation, she was being manipulated by this man, right? She obviously had deep rooted feelings for him.
Mm-hmm.
Almost had a child with him. Like, you know, there's a lot of history there. So I could see how that might make, like, going to the police kind of complicated for her. Just a little bit, you know? And then to top it off, like, once he's actually committed the crime and he's asked her to come clean it up, I would be fearful also at that point. Yet still, you live like 12 hours away. Like, you could go to the police and he wouldn't be able to, like, get to where you are for a very long time. So, yeah, I can, like, slightly empathize with her, like, slightly, but I'm having a hard time because, like you said, just, like, there's so many opportunities for her. And, like, we're not just talking about some, you know, petty crime. Like, this is someone lost their life. And if you were so concerned about a child being abused, like, wouldn't you also consider the fact that, like, I don't know, killing this child's mother if she wasn't guilty? Or, like, if she wasn't abusing her, like, that would be really terrible for the child as well. Like, I don't know. Just, like, such twisted, like, thinking and, ugh. Yeah, I'm just, it's hard to empathize with people and their decisions when they're just so reckless, you know?
For sure. Now, because Crystal told the investigators everything, she negotiated a deal with the prosecution that if she confessed to what she did and testified against Patrick in court, all she was going to have to do was plead guilty to tampering with evidence in relation to disposing of Kelsey's phone. So everyone agreed to that, which is lame, but they also made her go and walk the investigators through the crime scenes and explain exactly what she saw, what she cleaned. So she already told them all about it, but they made her go to the Kelsey's house and literally point out, be like, there was blood on this wall, this couch, the bathroom, where I found the tooth. Like she had to physically go and do that, which at the very least good, because they took her there and it's like, wow, we're seeing the level of this brutality and what you did to clean that. And you just look really shitty right now, even though you're at least telling us the truth so we know what happened. You still look like a piece of crap and you're having to walk
and not
through
only that,
it.
Yeah, but on top of that, like that is also, that's part of it, surely. Because like she has to relive like a terrible decision that she made
Mm-hmm.
over, like one more time over, which is kind of like, yeah, fuck you for doing such a shitty thing. But also like with Patrick, it's like having that person to point out where everything was just kind of adds a little bit more credibility to the prosecution's case, right?
Yes. Yes, exactly. So she was forced to go to Kelsey's home. She was also forced to go to the leased barn and to Patrick's residence. Now, it's kind of crappy because at Patrick's place, they had done such a good job of cleaning up this burn site that they had done a search warrant on his place and didn't even find it. Isn't that wild?
That is, like, actually, like, in hindsight, it's kind of nice that she did leave that blood there, right?
Yeah, because they did such a good job of covering this up that it's like, they might have not gotten this detail. She said like I already said, actually, she had burned pillows, curtains, stuffed animals even, the clothing she wore, her shoes. She also mentioned that while they were burning all this evidence, Patrick's mom had come out on the deck and was talking with them. Now, there is speculation that Patrick's mother didn't really like Kelsey for some reason, and that she maybe knew of this plan the whole time. However, there is no proof of this, so it's purely speculation.
Well, we'll leave it at that because, you know, who's to say really, right?
Exactly.
But it wouldn't be the first time a mother-in-law hated, like, the woman who was dating her son. Am I right?
I don't know. I think Jamie's mom always liked me.
I hope Craig's mom likes me. I'm pretty sure she does. But, like, you know, I mean, it's tale as old as time.
It is. We see it all the time, you know?
Yeah.
All right. So I had said that the burn site was cleaned up so well that they didn't even find it. But now that Crystal was pointing it out to them, it was kind of like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. So they did a whole other search of that area again. And you know what, Bev? They found that single tooth.
Damn.
Yeah. But it was damaged enough that they could not get any DNA from it. However, that one tooth, it links kind of everything together, including like Crystal's story, you know?
Totally does. Like, it just, again, gives a little bit of credibility to her as a witness or as a person who's going to testify against Patrick, which is what they need. They absolutely need that. They need the jury to believe that this person, like, isn't just trying to rid herself of any wrongdoing by blaming somebody else, but that her story is actually rooted in truth.
Exactly.
You know, so it's like, yes, that is actually really good.
Yes. And on top of that, at the leased barn, they brought in a cadaver dog and they hit on the exact spot that Crystal told them that Patrick was like storing Kelsey in that tote.
Ooh.
So everything is like piece by piece, it's all coming together and it's all matching, once again, Crystal's story. So after seeing and hearing everything on December 21st, 2018, Patrick was arrested on first-degree murder and solicitation of murder. 10 days later, he was officially charged, but with 2 counts of first-degree murder and 3 counts of solicitation. Patrick was held in Teller County Jail without bail. Then the trial began shortly after that, and Crystal was the prosecution's star witness, as you can imagine. Now, there was a small problem with Crystal, and that was that her character was just shady, and the defense could easily discredit her credibility on the stand. However, the prosecution could foresee this happening, so they gathered all the evidence and were able to corroborate Crystal's testimony with the evidence. Specifically, all the text and phone calls between her and Patrick. It clearly showed that Crystal had been telling the truth when she confessed. On top of that, her story never wavered, except when she was lying.
Yep.
But when she actually was like, okay, I'm going to tell the truth.
I'm telling, yeah.
It then never wavered.
Right, exactly.
So here is some of the evidence that they brought to light. Now, we already know some of it, but we're going to talk a bit about a timeline so you can just see how now it matches with Crystal's story. So, November 22nd, Patrick's cell phone placed him at Kelsey's house between 1:30 and 4:30.
Okay, wait, can we just clarify? Because November 22nd, is that like, that would have been when their Thanksgiving was. This is Thanksgiving Day.
Yes.
Okay, so this is, if he's there 1:30 to 4:30, I'm assuming this is when he murdered her, right? We know that she was at the store around noon. So that even tracks, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So this, between 1:30 and 4:30, this was after Patrick said that he had last seen Kelsey. He had told the investigators that he had met up with her to exchange the baby and give her back those personal items, including the gun.
Right. So he lied.
Yes. After this, evidence showed Patrick and Kelsey's phones traveling together, and this happened over the next couple days. So when I say traveling together, like to his farm, to the leased barn, to his family's house, her phone
we know that
was with him.
Yeah, and then we know that the phone ended up with Crystal back to Idaho, so it makes sense that it kind of went
that way
everywhere he went, right? Like,
yeah,
so exactly. Did Kelsey's body.
And then on November 24th, Crystal's phone was seen traveling to Kelsey's home. That's when she drove
to clean up the crime scene.
Exactly. Then it showed Crystal's phone going to the barn where Patrick had stashed Kelsey's remains. And then it showed her phone going to Patrick's ranch. From that
to burn the body.
Exactly. From that point, Crystal and Kelsey's phone traveled together to Idaho.
Before she burned it.
Yes. So it's very clear, like step by step, this is really what happened. And this is exactly what Crystal told the investigators, right?
Yep.
On top of that, they also had a ton of surveillance footage that completely ruined Patrick's own timeline. So to be clear, what he told the investigators, he said that he had met up with Kelsey at 12:30 to get his daughter and exchange those items. Then he went and made a bank deposit at 12:45. Then he went to Walmart to get baby formula and left by 1:30. Then he claimed he drove 40 kilometers to go feed and water his cattle, and then he drove home for Thanksgiving dinner at 4:30 p.m. But
wow, so he just made up a bunch of shit.
Yeah. So what the surveillance showed was that Kelsey, as we know, and like you said, was at Safeway from 12:02 to 12:27. At that time, Patrick's truck was seen on camera from a local store heading towards Kelsey's house at 12:30. A few minutes later, his truck was heading in the opposite direction. At 12:31 and 12:33, Patrick calls Kelsey's cell phone for a 35-second call. Then there is an incoming call from Kelsey to Patrick, listed as 8 seconds in length in the affidavit. At that time with the calls, both cell phones were connected to the same tower in Woodland Park. So this is making sense, right? Because this is before he goes to the ATM and to Walmart. Then at 12:41 p.m., a text message was exchanged between Kelsey and Patrick. He went to an ATM drive-thru.
Sorry, can I just have a question? Was that text message the one where it was like, do you still love me? Do you know?
I do not know. No, sorry, that was, that text message was a couple days later.
Oh my God.
Yes. So.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Was it Crystal and Patrick like texting each other to like to make it seem like they had no idea that she was what happened or that she was still alive? Like, was that
Yeah, I'm not sure if
Like a
Crystal
whole
was involved in
thing.
that text message specifically, but it was like Kelsey was already to that point, so it was, I assume, most likely Patrick.
Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
That's so gross.
Yeah.
Especially the content of that message. Anyway, so this text that you're talking about specifically on Thanksgiving was not that, but holy crap. Ew.
Yeah. So this is like assuming that he has already picked up his daughter. They shared a text. I don't know what it said, but it was after that he went to an ATM drive-through. So that portion of his like testimony was true, and they saw him
Mhm.
on the security footage. He was seen on camera between 12:42 and 12:50. During this security footage, the black tote that he ended up putting Kelsey in was in the back of his truck bed. Then, from 12:54 to 1:17 p.m., Patrick was captured on surveillance video at the Walmart in Woodland Park carrying his baby in a carrier with a blanket similar to the one that we saw in the Safeway footage where Kelsey was seen with her baby. After leaving Walmart, there is camera footage showing Patrick driving back towards Kelsey's house. At 1:24 p.m., Kelsey and Patrick are captured on a neighbor's security camera entering her house with their daughter. So this is where it gets fuzzy because at this time, according to what Patrick told the investigators, he would have been feeding and or on his way to feeding and watering his cattle. So as we know, he did not do that.
Can I just, hilarious that you said watering his cattle. I can't get over it.
Sorry, like, giving them water.
I know. He was just feeding and watering his cattle. Adorable. But yeah, liar. Didn't do that.
Yeah.
Did not water his cattle, okay?
Mm-hmm. And so, after he goes inside, the cell tower records, as we already said, show that Patrick's phone was connected to the tower near Kelsey's apartment from 1:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. that day. The neighbor's security camera also catches Patrick leaving Kelsey's place around 4:30. And from that point on, Kelsey is never seen leaving her home or ever again. Now, as you can see, his story, based on security footage, text messages, cell towers, completely fell apart, right, Bev?
Yeah, he's a lying piece of shit.
Yeah, he is. Now, Patrick's brother, the police officer, also testified against his own brother in his trial. He told
I would expect that.
Right?
Given the fact that he's a police officer.
Yeah, like, want to keep your job? Do the right thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. So he told the courts that Patrick didn't show up to their family dinner until around 5 p.m. Patrick had initially said 4:30, but based on Kelsey's neighbor's security camera, we know he did not leave her home until 4:30. So the earliest he could have gotten to his family dinner was 5 p.m. He also said that he noticed Patrick parked, as he said, much further away than needed. And why?
Yeah, he's like, I have a body in the bed of my truck.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want no one to see it.
Yeah, no one's going to see that. So the brother found that really odd, but like didn't really think much of it. However, knowing now, he's like, oh shoot, that's probably why. You know?
No kidding.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Now, another inmate from the same jail that Patrick was in also testified. He said that while awaiting trial, Patrick had written a hit list of people he wanted to see dead. Some of the names on there included Cheryl, Kelsey's mom, Crystal, virtually his partner in crime, probably because she betrayed him, and her ex-husband, Chad. Poor innocent Chad. Like, my God.
Yeah, no kidding. And Cheryl.
And Cheryl,
like,
yeah, what am I
hell?
saying? Crystal, fine, whatever. But, well, no, you know what? It's wrong either way. Let's be real. So anyways, he testified in court that he had a hit list. Now, I don't know if he's just being like some cynical guy and angry, but like, most people don't write a hit list and have no intention of doing something, So after hearing all of this evidence, all the testimonies, the jury steps out to deliberate. And it only took them 3.5 hours. And they ultimately found Patrick guilty of all charges. he ended up receiving life without parole plus an additional 156 years. That is, like, he's never getting out of prison, which is awesome. He's the
Yeah,
worst.
amazing. He doesn't deserve to.
Now,
especially with his newly founded hit list.
Yeah.
Come on now. People might be at risk.
Yeah, for sure.
But like, interesting that it's so long. Like, that doesn't always happen, you know?
No.
Like, usually people could be up for parole after 25 years or whatever. So it's interesting that he got life without parole and an additional like 156 years. Like, that's, yeah.
Not
well, he's a
normal.
deplorable human at this point. So, like, I get it.
But I see what you're saying, though, because we've covered some cases where people do horrendous things and they only serve 20 years and then they can get out, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas this guy will never leave prison. Even
Yeah.
if he serves a fraction of that 156 years, he's never getting out of prison. Never mind the life sentence. So
Totally.
here's a small explanation as to kind of why he had so many years added on. So
Ooh.
the prosecution filed 2 murder charges, and it was because they actually had different theories. One was that he acted alone to kill Kelsey. The other was that he, either alone or with other people, killed her during a robbery. So that is the only thing and reason why I found that they would charge him with 2 murder charges, because only one person died. So
right.
I feel very confused by this, but that is the explanation that I was able to find, and the only explanation.
All right. Well,
Okay.
I'll take it for what it is, and I'm just happy that he's never getting out of prison.
Right? And
like, I'll just accept it.
and keep in mind, for the 3 additional times that he attempted to have Kelsey killed, that was the extra additional 156 years on top of the life sentence.
Fantastic. Like, you weren't just a shitty person one time. You were an attempted shitty person multiple times. Like,
yeah,
you know? Like, just shitty all around.
Yeah.
Over a long period of time. So
exactly.
That's what you get.
Now, you must be wondering, what is Crystal's life currently like?
Yeah. I mean, she took a plea deal, so.
Yeah. So, she was initially sentenced to 3 years in jail, which, I mean, is like nothing.
Yeah.
Although, as far as we know, she didn't actually kill Kelsey, so whatever. But a judge overturned her sentence and gave her only 18 months in prison and a year of parole. So, currently, she's a free woman.
Damn.
I know.
You know, I think the right person is in jail for life.
Mm-hmm.
I do have to say there are some things about Crystal that have to be at least acknowledged when giving her a decreased sentence, and that is that she was manipulated, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, she had opportunities to hurt somebody and she ultimately could not go through with it. Yeah. That does show that she is not really a risk to society in the sense of like hurting someone in that way. Mm-hmm. She did clean up a crime scene, but she also did come forward. And, you know, the blood, whether she left it there actually on purpose or not, it does kind of show that she has remorse, you know, and typically with people that go to prison, you want the person that is actually going to be a danger to society and actually did like the crime to be the one that goes away. And in this case, that happened. So at the end of the day, if she is even a kind of good person, she's going to have to live with what she did for the rest of her life. And that would be fucking hard.
Yes, it would.
You know what I mean? Especially if you're a good person.
Yeah, like you would feel guilty every damn day of your life that you are alive, that you did not do anything to stop this. Yeah. You know what? I watched a little video clip, and Michelle, Crystal's friend, also carries that guilt of not saying anything.
Like, I could see it because it's like good people give a shit when they are even remotely or even potentially somewhat tangentially responsible for the death of somebody else. Like, hello.
For sure.
That makes sense. That is what empathy is and like what people should feel when something like this happens.
Exactly. So anyone who's listening, let this be a learning experience. If you hear of something, better to say something than assume the best in people.
That, and there is protection for you. Like, don't be so afraid of somebody that you don't come forward. Because, like, yeah, seriously. Whew. Also, like, no guy's worth it. No man is worth that. No one is worth, like, selling your soul for, okay? No one.
Just don't do it. Don't do it. All right. So I don't know about you if you've thought about this, but one of the biggest questions that I had through this whole thing was, why the F did Patrick want her dead?
Literally, I was waiting for this moment. I was waiting for you to finish the trial stuff because I was like, yeah, like, get it out. Let's find out how it is. But yeah, why the fuck did he kill her?
Right?
Like,
why?
What the fuck?
So it is, okay, so it's kind of weird. Everywhere I read, there is pure speculation. And it's like, some of it's from Kelsey's family, things that they heard and saw, but there was no moment where Patrick outright said, I wanted her dead for this reason, or any specific reason that Crystal gave other than Kelsey was abusive to the daughter, which wasn't true.
Right.
So rumor has it that Kelsey was starting to become really unhappy in this relationship and had contemplated about ending it. And in doing so, she was going to split her and Patrick's child 50-50 custody. But Patrick didn't like that. He wanted their daughter all to himself, and that's why he killed her.
Well, you know, that wouldn't be the first person to kill for that reason.
No, it's very common. We've covered tons of cases like that.
Yeah.
But even leading up to it, Kelsey's mom said it seemed like a normal day. They were having Thanksgiving dinner. She got the sweet potatoes for Patrick. Like, she was still doing nice things for him. They were all in all still together. So I don't know if this was just something brewing, but there's not one specific person that has said, oh, she was going to fucking leave him.
Right. Well, another tale as old as time when it comes to murder or homicide cases is you have someone you are in love with other than your partner. And if he even was remotely like afraid of losing custody, if he were to leave her for Crystal or be with Crystal, like, he'd have to share the custody. So maybe it could have been something like that. Again, I am speculating. I have no idea. But, like, you know, it wouldn't be outrageous to think that that might be the case. I mean, he did put Chad on his hit list.
Right?
Yeah.
He is a spiteful mofo. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So that, and that's the theory that Kelsey's family sticks to the most as well. So if that wasn't the reason, Patrick's even like a little bit worse than we even thought. And we think he's pretty terrible. So that's saying a lot. But yeah, either way, they had the evidence. They didn't need a motive, which was great.
Right.
So.
Yeah. It was damning.
Yeah. Now, Kelsey's family in a press conference had stated that they planned to start an aviation scholarship in her name and that Patrick was ordered to donate to this fund. Unfortunately, when I always like to go look up these funds and scholarships that people create, and I unfortunately couldn't find one in her name because I was going to say, hey, go donate to this awesome scholarship, but I couldn't find anything. So maybe I'm looking just like in the wrong place online. I don't know. Or maybe it's just very specific to like local residents. I don't know. So if anyone listening to this is from Colorado and knows of this, please let me know because I would love to give that information so that people can donate because it's obviously for a very worthy cause and could help someone grow in their aviation career.
Which, honestly, let's be real, it seems like Kelsey would have loved. So
exactly. So let me know if you find it. Now, Kelsey's family continues to honor her memory and raise her little baby girl, Kaylee, and in hopes that she'll grow up and feel so loved just like her mother did.
Oh,
sweet.
Bittersweet, right? But like happy that there's a loving family that can do that
Exactly.
for her.
Exactly. Yeah, with the same values and morals that Kelsey would have loved to see her daughter grow with. So,
Absolutely.
well, Bev, that was a pretty heavy case. Bunch of
Yeah, that
twists
was
and
tough.
turns. So, we'll leave it at that. Thanks so much for listening.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Of course. Love you.
Thanks for doing it justice, Becky. Appreciate it. And I love you hugely. And to everyone listening, we love you hugely.
That's right. And to all the families that are affected by asshole murderers, just know that we're like always thinking of you and we're always with you.
Yeah.
And we're sorry
100%.
you go through any of that.
All right. Well, till next week.
Till next week.
And just your weekly reminder to download our weekly episodes, follow us on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever streaming platform you listen to us on, and give us a follow on our social medias. You can find us at Luminol on the Wall. Can't wait till next week.